I'm surprised YR isn't here right now, but we'll have to wait. And he'll probably join in later on. He's probably doing something with his dad or whichever there. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. So good evening, everybody. This is Arknolia and the Doctor, and it's episode 50, if I understand. Episode, and the reason I say that is because I was not completely aware that it was we have reached 50 episodes. I thought it was 49, so I'm checking right now to see if I made him a boo boo or something like that there, such and such and such.
Well, the
So
last one you had named uh, Arknolia and the Doctor, and you added that you were going on YR and stuff like that.
hmm
You said Dr. Oli with Arknolia, YR and Minnesota Vikings fan.
yeah, that
But
was
the,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that was 49.
yeah, it was 49. Yeah, that may. Well, no, let me check again. I think that I may have. I think it may be right. I forgot to mention that for some dumb reason. Why? Let's see here. Yeah, it was. You're right. It was episode 49. My bad. All right.
Hey, no
So,
problem.
okay. So, all right. So, we're live here. Got that whole bullshit straightened out there. So for
Yep.
now, it's me and Arknolia Stroke a Bean, and of course, this is episode 50 of our music memory series here, folks. And the list goes on and on and on of very well-known
We're still in the
artists.
70s,
Yep, reaching out, of course,
and we
to
might sneak into the 80s a little bit.
yeah, because some of these artists did branch out into that '80s genre just as well and very successfully. There, a few of them did.
Yeah, and then you have others that just said, "Here's my song, bye."
One-hit wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got to, one of these days we got to take a look at these one-hit wonders, because
Yeah, just dedicate a show to them.
yeah,
We could dedicate about 5 of them to them.
I'm still looking to try to get a hold of Dave Rose so we could do our Canadian rock spotlight there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Okay, we're going to start out where we left off
wait a minute.
before, and we're going to get into the eyes. Oh, you got
Yeah,
something
I
there?
got somebody's calling here. Let me let's see here, and it's not showing it. It's YR. I'll add them and I'll add
Dick,
you back. There you are. I'll
Rabbit.
add you back, dude. Okay, come on. There we go. YR.
Give me a moment. I'm setting everything up. My mic.
Okay, there. All right, I'll add Arky back to the show there. My Skype's kind of fucked up. Well, not necessarily fucked up. It's kind of different because you have to put that person on hold in order to take this other call. So it ain't like where you just
Add Ark in this group.
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now, dude. Okay, there. Yeah, I saw your little promo there. You said for Music Maniacs. And I see you were still making a dog and guard guts there. We got to talk about him, that's for sure, because I've been hearing a lot his name being brought up in terms of Danny MT and all that stuff there, and Tony from Revere and Jesse as well. I need to talk about that and
Yes.
that made me mad. What
Yes.
Jesse said there, man, that made me furious.
You heard that clip?
Yes, I did. It's like, and that was from Guard Guts' stream. This as well.
Yes. That
I'm
was.
trying to find the show to where he was on, so I can hear the
Well,
whole
that was deleted,
conversation.
Brown. That was deleted. That whole stream
Wow.
was deleted when Jesse went on his rant. And I know he said, sure he said other things, but
Wow. But still, I was friends with this guy on Facebook, and he would speak about, showing love to you kiddos and everything there. And
Mm.
Arknoy is unavailable. He's been having issues with his desktop as of late, I guess. And what it was is that, he was, he would say things like, oh, I'm I'm showing love to everybody else, love one another.
Yes.
And for him to say that, it's just, I can't believe it.
Well, I just walked in. What did I miss?
Oh, we were talking about Jesse J, who used to be on Joe Cronin's programs a lot. he was on a Gargut's stream there, which got deleted. If I found out there, and he apparently said some very upsetting things there that really pissed me off. There, you have to go to the YR program channel to find that clip there. See what I'm talking about there.
What
I
was
do
he
have
talking
some.
about? You?
What up?
No.
No, it's
Was he
not
talking
about.
about Dark?
No, it wasn't. He was on. Yeah, I guess he was talking about some people on the Discord chat there.
Yeah, it's stupid nonsense. Listen, Brown.
Yeah.
We do for the Rock News. I found if you want to look up a blabbermouth, basically Alex Lifeson of Rush.
Yeah.
Basically, he confirms that Rush will be no more. Will tour never again.
Yeah. Well,
There will
actually,
never be no more.
I
Well,
knew.
I
Oh, we knew
kinda
that.
figured that would happen.
Well, actually, I thought
Kind of
it.
figured that would happen.
Well, actually, I think he made that in new. He made that in some. He made that news back in 2015, I guess, for what I remember reading about it.
Well, the whole well, like you figure people don't tour for a while, but then when they die, they can never try it again because everyone has their last go around.
Yeah,
Eventually.
Kiz has had what 5 farewell tours
Yeah, yeah, it's
with
true
different
there.
people.
Absolutely there. How many there? That's a record, And I guess that may be the last one for what I understand. But then again, knowing how Gene and Paul are still money hungry as they are, they'll probably do it again towards
Well, they're
sometime
gonna.
soon.
Well, Gene pretty much. I mean, they're confirming kind of in interviews that this is for real. But what they're gonna end up doing, because I have some people inside the business, the industry. What they're gonna end up doing is, how the certain things they sell, like whether it's pop vinyl figures, it doesn't say Ace Frehley, it says the Starman.
Yeah,
Or,
I know. I've
the
saw no.
Spaceman.
Yeah, I know the Spaceman, the Catman, the Demon, Star
And so what
Child.
they'll do is they'll have literally like a Kiss approved tribute band essentially that will
Yeah.
tour as the Demon, as the Cat, as those names, but still be, under the Kiss banner, which
I know. So
I
it's
mean
gonna
they're
be.
old.
cheating
Everyone's
people.
getting old. They're old. You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
Yeah, and that kind of cheats people. I don't.
And
I
and,
don't
I
like
kind of
that.
and I don't like it either because I just will not. If I'm going to see a tribute band, I would see a tribute band at a nearby bar for a cheaper price. I would pay about $15 next to $1,000 for per ticket there to see a bunch of guys who look, try to sound, try to act like
Yes.
Paul, Gene, Ace, and Peter.
Yeah.
And I'm
Or
and,
if they even had like who they have on now, Tommy Thayer as Ace, and then
Eric
who was the
Singer,
drummer? Eric Singer.
yeah,
Eric
as
Singer
as Peter Chris.
if they kept those two on and just had a couple other guys play. I mean, they're always going to have something going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everyone's getting older. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
There,
it's-
I mean, there. I mean, it's sad to say, the same thing with probably Motley Crue. I'm thinking they're going to have to. I'm thinking they're going to have to get John Corabi back in the band because obviously Vince Neil can't lickety split no more. He had a whole year and a half to get his voice and his shape together there, but sadly, ain't happening. Because
No.
you listen to all the clips of him trying to sing, especially the one I pointed out where he walks in, where he just tried to sing "Girls, Girls, Girls," and he just said, "Yep, I can't do it. My voice is shot," and he walked off the stage, such and such and such. And it's like,
were you gonna go? Were you gonna go to that show?
which
Poison,
one, Motley?
Crue, and Def Leppard. Were you gonna bother? Or?
No, I wasn't going to bother because I knew what
Ah.
we were going to. Because I wasn't big on Poison, and I did like Def Leppard in the earlier years, but when he started getting played,
That's the only
on
group I want to see out of them. That's like they're really good. Brett
Yeah.
Michaels still sings good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so does Def
Joey.
Leppard. They're really good live too.
Yeah, it's true.
They
yeah.
just do it a lot. Like Def Leppard, they tour every year, so like you can. It's a little overdue with them.
Yeah,
but,
it's true.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. But
Yeah.
I would, if I were to go, I'd probably skip out on Motley Crue, because sadly, Vince Neil, unless he get John Corabi back in the band there, because he did do some good music for that one record they did in the early '90s, and he needs to be acknowledged a lot more.
Yeah.
What was the name of that?
It was-
From them.
It was just, it was simply a self-titled album from '94. It had Hooligans Holiday, Uncle Jack, and a couple others
Yes.
there. Power to the Music. It was more like a heavier. It was heavy. It was more like a grunge type of heavy, but still heavy either way. A different sounding record.
Yeah.
Did Arknolia, did you come up with a couple of or a list of
Well, I really thought about it, and where we
Leon
are now
Russell?
with some of the artists,
Yep.
I basically about the best I can do is partial this because I just don't get
Right.
into them as much.
What
But
about
let's,
what about did you do your Leon Russell list?
yeah, but I only got 6 songs on it, 7 songs on it.
Mm.
That's you want to start with that one?
That's no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dude.
Okay. My number 7 is his cover of Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms,
Mm.
which is an interesting one. And number 6 would be Delta Lady. Number 5 would be Lady Blue.
Ooh.
Number 4 would be Out in the Woods, which is off of his Carney album.
I'm out in the woods.
And Carney
That's a
is
pretty, yeah, that's a pretty neat song, actually.
and Carney, if I understand, that's the music from the movie of the same name that had Jodie Foster in it. If I'm correct.
Could be, but Carney is basically a carnival worker. But
Oh.
Tightrope. The tightrope's on that one?
yeah, Tightrope is actually the next song.
Mm.
Yes.
Ah.
Great song.
Brian, you heard of that one?
If you hadn't, what's wrong with you? No,
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta
kidding.
look that. You gotta look that. Good piano, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a great song.
It started the movie I'm talking about. Starred Jodie Foster, Gary Busey, Robbie Robertson of the band, Meg Foster, and a couple others here. It came out in 1980. A waitress who
Wow.
joins a traveling carnival. Is what
Yeah.
it's about. There.
Well, number 3 is Lady Blue. My number 2 is This Masquerade.
Oh.
Great song.
Which George Benson would later cover.
And my number 1 has been covered by a couple of people, but I still like the Russell version. That's A Song for You.
Nice.
Oh, so the Blue Eyed Sun song wouldn't be on your list? Good song.
Missed it.
Have you heard of it though?
Yes.
It's
Oh,
on that
man.
movie. I think it's on that movie. Remember the Titans or something? One of those football movies they play in.
Yeah. And actually, I could have included some of the stuff he did with Mark Beno as part of Asylum Choir, because there were some great songs on the second album.
Dr. Brown, what is your opinion about Greens Point Mall? I saw you over there. I saw you.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there today, so
Well, no, on your video, because that place doesn't even have a food court anymore.
I know.
It
Yeah, I
was.
know. We were discussing that last. You know what? It's kind of funny. There was I mentioned this in the video last night. There were about what this other clip by his channel called Ace's Adventures. They were looking into abandoned malls, dead malls, and one of them was a mall that I mentioned in last night's vlog about East Lakeside Mall, which is in
Ooh.
Sterling Heights, Michigan. Now, I used to go there a lot of times, many times. I remember there was a fashion show there one time, or I guess it was around 87, I guess. And one of the guests was Gil Hill, who at that time was the Detroit chief of police, who had made a couple appearances in the first two Beverly Hills Cop movies.
Yeah, we had several malls that disappeared up where I am.
And it's sad because I think probably the pandemic from last year and all this online shopping is probably the two big reasons why the malls are dying, and it's sad. It's absolutely sad because I used to love this mall. It had a lot of architect, it had a lot of structure, all these places you could go to, Harmony House, the Wild Pear, Hot Topic when it first came out. It was a good place before it became an emo store there,
When did what year did Hot Topic come out?
I'm not too sure. I should probably look that up while I have Google up here.
The malls that disappeared here did it well before the pandemic. In fact, they did it about 5 to 10 years before the pandemic. Big malls.
Yeah.
We had one here up in this area called the Six Flags Mall, which was,
Oh yeah, based on the Six Flags theme park there.
yeah, it not only died, the mall itself is gone.
Yeah, Summit Mall in Waterford, Michigan. I went there a few times there. That died. That's gone there.
You know that they got the outdoor mall. I think it's in San Marcos. What do they call the
San Marcos.
San Marcos? It's like those outdoor
Um.
malls. It's
Hmm.
the
And it
um,
says here the first Hot Topic opened in November of 1989 in
ooh.
Montclair Plaza, Montclair, California.
You think they
Hmm.
had like all that stuff, like the gothic stuff and all that,
Well, most
spikes
likely,
and
no, I most likely had to, I guess, for I understand. I didn't know it existed until the later part of the '90s when
when
a
did you get
couple.
your spikes and all that,
I
your
never had
vests
any
and
spike. I never had any spikes.
or like boot, like you never had like all that, the
No, no.
necklaces and
The
all the
only thing,
chain.
no, I never wore any of that kind of stuff. I was never a chain person, you know.
Mm.
I was just usually went in there for little knickknacks, like a little this and that, you know, like either a shirt or two. That was about it, you know. But
That's
anything
what
that went,
I
any,
used to be in that, doctor. I used to go to Hot Topic, get like those the studded bracelets,
yeah,
almost like Judas Priest, but that
yeah,
was back
nice.
in
Yeah, but I
the school
never, but
days.
yeah, I never got
Yeah.
any of those because the club I used to go to would not allow them to be
Uh-huh.
worn. Yeah,
It's like a
because
lifestyle,
yeah, it's something like that. Yes. But I was never. But anything that went beyond to looking like the Crow, carrying lunch boxes like Marilyn Manson, tried to,
Ooh.
or the Marilyn Hanson, as a couple buddies back then used to call them. No, I would never carry a lunchbox. Why do we need a lunchbox for? Give me a break. That's overdoing it, you know. But then again,
They
you know
do
how.
got the good band shirts though. Good Iron Maiden
Yeah, they
shirts,
do. But then again, I'm not really interested in bands like My Chemical Romance
No.
or
Look, they'll have your occasional Metallica and good Iron Maiden in there,
yeah, this
for you.
yeah, or the occasional Pink Floyd shirt. But you know what?
Yes.
You know what I would love them to do. I would love them to have for sale. You know those Funko Pops. You know that.
They have them.
Yeah, I know. I see that, but I'd like to get them representing in the kind of like the first Black Sabbath album. I had a Funko Pop version of that. The first
Well,
Black
listen,
Sabbath album cover.
I ordered a Funko Pop off Amazon. I'm getting the Frasier series. It just came
Oh,
out, but
oh, nice.
well, pre-ordered it and they fucked up my order, so I'm having to do a new order. But I'm getting all the Frasier
Mm.
character
Oh
Funko
wow.
Pops, keeping them in the box. But
Oh wow.
I mean, they
Is
have a
this?
ton of wrestling ones.
Ah.
Kiss, obviously.
Yeah.
I think they even have Metallica
Oh yeah.
for
No
that.
surprise
So
there. I would love them to do with the members of Black Sabbath. You know, include every member of
yes,
Black Sabbath, including Tony Martin.
I bet Ozzy's out there though. I
They
bet they
should.
got an Ozzy pop
I'm
up.
not. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. You know, I just have to see that. But they could also do, as I mentioned, they could do a Funko Pop version of the first Ramones album cover. They could do the Beatles Abbey Road album cover, or they can also they already have the Black Sabbath album cover, as I already mentioned. But they can also do possibly, let's see, they could do members of Judas Priest, past and present.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
yeah, I know you would love that. And there's this. I'm hoping that I can find a Funko Pop version of Tarna, Taarna, from the movie Heavy Metal. That got that
Mm.
a female warrior at the last section there, the movie there, with the white hair, and sword, and bikini and boots and stuff like that.
Heavy
Yeah,
Metal, the movie. What are
Yes,
you
the
talking
movie.
about?
Yeah, you ever saw the movie Heavy Metal from 1981?
got to see it.
Negative.
Got to see
Oh,
it.
dude, you got to, man. You got to, definitely. The last Tarna is like one of the epitome symbol of that movie there. Believe it or not. Yeah. You
Yeah,
got
that
to see
movie's
it.
pretty much a must see.
Oh yeah, absolutely there. And let's not forget the magazine that spawned the movie as well. It was a sci-fi cartoon with the different stories in each issue there. I guess they had other issues carry on with great artwork by Louis Royale, Frank
Mm.
Franzetta. A lot of good stuff there. You got to look up those guys' art. That's for damn sure.
Didn't they use the Sammy Hagar version of heavy metal in that one, or was it
Yes, they
Blue,
did. They also had Don Felder.
Really?
Blue,
Yes.
Blue
Y-
Oyster Cult had a
Blue
heavy
Oyster
metal
Cult.
song?
Yep. They also had Don Felder from the Eagles, his song Heavy Metal. They had Mob Rules by Black Sabbath. They had a band called
Mm.
Trust. They had Debo's working in the coal mine. They had a lot of good stuff on that album there.
Yeah,
You know, on that Mob Rules album, Black Sabbath,
Yep,
that Sign of the Southern Cross, I think that's the best song on
absolutely.
that whole thing.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's a song based on I guess it's a bunch of stars. It's about four stars, and their position is where they kind of like form a crucifix when you look at it there.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what I guess what the song is about. You know, pointing to the stars to find your direction here and there, and some good, interesting lyrics in there. Give a life to those who are dying, and don't live for pleasure. Make life your treasure.
Mm.
Plain and
I
simple.
do have a, you know, this is pretty controversial, but
Hmm.
the whole Black Sabbath thing, you know, I do have a hot take on their best album, you know, Ozzy and Dio, and that's going to be Heaven and Hell for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that is the one album that, I mean, yeah, Ozzy's great and everything, but Heaven and Hell album,
You know
that's,
what? That album
you
blew
know,
that album blew the shit out of. That fucking blew up on radio and the album charts massively next to AC/DC's Back in Black. As I mentioned a couple episodes ago, the three albums you had to have that year, 1980, was The
yes.
Wall by Pink Floyd, um, Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell, also AC/DC's Back in Black. Those were the big three albums you definitely had to have, no doubt about that.
It really was great.
It was absolutely. Gosh, that was one of them. Interesting, and the song "Heaven and Hell" itself pretty much sums it up. You know, it's a battle between good and evil, constantly, all the time. There, when you look at it. All right, so Ark, do we have any more on your list?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I was going to pick up with the individual artists, and we hit somebody interesting. We can kind of talk about what they did.
Yeah,
Well, they're all interesting in their own ways, I suppose.
that's true.
First one I got, because we left off at the beginning of the Eyes, is a group called Ides of March.
Mm.
Don't tell
I,
me you've never heard
I've
Vehicle.
heard, I've heard the name, but I don't think I've heard any of their stuff. Unfortunately, there. So I have to, some
Wow.
kind of stump. So I'd have to definitely inform me about that. That's for sure.
You've heard Vehicle YR?
No, sir. Never have.
Wow, you guys need to listen to that. That's
Yes.
an
Mm.
interesting song. It's
Ah,
got a lot of horn in it because they're kind of similar to a rockin' version of Chicago,
ah.
Mm.
but the song's kind of, I'm not sure what the message is there, but it's kind of like, hey baby, I'm a friendly stranger. Won't you step inside my car? I got music, I got pictures, I got candy. I'm take you to the nearest star, and it's like,
Oh boy, man.
whoa,
That's a
what is that
trip.
about?
Jesus. What are you saying? What? Come on.
I
Well,
know
it's
that's a
a
trip
great
to hear
song to
about.
listen to,
What's the
but
name
when
of
you
that group?
IDs
Ides
of
of
March.
March,
Mm.
the old Caesar,
But you
YouTube
said
group.
Michael Jackson.
Nice.
No, it's
Nah, but
IDES of March.
Yep.
gosh.
And it's an American rock band that had a major U.S. and minor U.K. hit with the song "Vehicle" in 1970. After going on hiatus in 1973, the band returned it with its original lineup in 1990. Has been still active since that.
And the weird thing is that Vehicle was their only hit.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a great song. It's a rocking song, but when you really listen to the lyrics, it's like, what the
Holy.
heck kind of message is
I
going on
know.
here?
That's kind of a trip out there.
No,
If they,
listen to it sometime because it's a good song, but you know what is that all about?
ah, and they recorded for Parrot Records. And now Parrot Records, as you know, was a record label that was distributed by London Records there.
Right.
That that Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck, and Gilbert O'Sullivan recorded for as well.
Huh. Interesting combo.
And he also recorded one single for the Cap Records label, which was spelled Kapp. And that was in
Yeah.
'68.
My next group is also, they're kind of a prog. Well, they're not really totally prog.
Oh, by the way,
But
here's something else. One of their members, Jim Peterick, later was to go on to become one of the members of the band Survivor. And he co-wrote all their
Ah,
platinum hits, like including Eye of the Tiger, The Search Is Over, High on You, Can't Hold Back. And he also had a career in writing collaborations, which resulted in other platinum hits for, let's say, songs for 38 Special, Hold On Loosely, Rockin' Into the
wow.
Night, Caught Up in You, Fantasy Girl, and Wild Eyed Southern Boys, and Sammy Hagar's Heavy Metal, which we were talking about moments ago.
Mm.
boy, that's amazing
Absolutely.
because that was a lot of 38 Special's biggest hits.
Yeah, I know. So this guy, so if you
What
what I
was
read,
that? Listen, on the third day special, you named "Caught Up in You." You named that one, right?
yes, I did.
Yeah.
That's a great song,
It
dude.
is good
It really
song
is.
and good
Hold
video
on
as well.
loosely.
Yes, Hold On Lucy. The first time I heard of
Yes,
them,
on the radio, probably right.
oh,
So
that
like
was those songs. The first two songs I mentioned, Hold On Lucy, Rockin' Into the Night, big on the radio around 1981.
Yeah.
See, like that's what we. That's the thing with me and Brown and Ark, is we do specialize in the deep tracks, the deep cuts.
The stuff that the stuff that nobody really knows about, because you know people today when they think of it, say it's like Survivor, they think Eye of the Tiger, Hulk Hogan's old song there. It's like no, bro, you need to go
Nah,
deeper than that. How about Song of a Poor Man, which came out before that?
that's why Judas
Yeah.
Priest is so. You know what I'm saying? Because people think, oh, just these couple songs, whatever.
Or Iron
Yeah,
Maiden, they always think of Run to the Hills, yeah, dude,
Went to the Hills, the
yep.
Trooper.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. What about Raph Child? What about the track IDs of March? What about Murders in the Rue Morgue? Run It Free or Phantom of the Opera? What about that, bros? I don't know, cause I'm just so ignorant. That's that's mostly the mainstream cut that we see nowadays. There.
Yeah. Well, the next group I got is also an I group, I guess you'd call them.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if you've heard, either one of you've heard of them. It's a Beautiful Day.
Mm. It's a beautiful.
Whitebird.
It's a band.
Yeah.
Wow. I see there.
They did a song called Whitebird.
White Bird. It's a
They're
beautiful.
kind of, they're real close to being prog, but they're not true prog.
Ah, interesting. Very interesting.
what's your definition of? I never heard of the group, but what's your definition of prog art?
Well, I don't really have one. It's more of a feeling.
Prog is more basically experimental, where they do a little
Yeah.
more progressive stuff there. The bands like Yes, Genesis, and King Crimson, they would add little bits of classical elements into their music now and then,
Right.
which
Every
resulted
so
in which often resulted in one track taking up this all of side 3 or 4, at times.
Or in the case of Tales from Topographic Oceans, 2 records, one
Yep.
song essentially.
on
Would
each
y'all
side.
would y'all consider Boston prog rock the band?
Well,
E-
they were listed as just American rock band, but
Right.
they did have some prog elements in it. I mean, the
Foreplay,
Journey,
long time.
Forge, yep,
Yeah, Foreplay Long Time's a good example.
absolutely there, and
And
also the piece, the Journey from the second record, and the Launch from the third album
it is
as
a
well.
mix, bro, because you have a couple songs on there that are pure, like a good classic American rock. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they're not pure
So
prog, but they're kind. You're right. They're kind of a mix.
Yes,
it's
it was.
interesting,
Yeah. And we also know that the guitar player Tom Schultz, he was not only the writer of those songs, he also was, or the guitar player, he also was the producer and the engineer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, It's a Beautiful Day had another song on their album. They had two albums that was called Bombay Calling, which a lot of people say that's where Child in Time came from.
By Deep Purple.
Right. Apparently, it's very similar.
That's
I didn't see
interesting.
that, but
Oh wow.
a lot of people
Gotta
do.
got somebody got to check that out there. That's for sure.
Uh, Next band we start with the Jays. Jay Giles Band.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. Hailing from Boston, number one favorite in Detroit for many, many years.
Yeah.
Detroit definitely embraced them. That's for sure. And sadly, they're not there. I guess I don't know if they're. I guess they may be no more because their guitarist Jerome Giles, they passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah. Okay, Doctor, what are some of their songs besides Centerfold?
Oh, we know them: Freeze Frame, Centerfold. One Last Kiss. Sanctuary. Yeah, stuff like
Love Stinks.
a lot of Stinks. Absolutely, Come Back. Their version of the Nighttime. Their piece entitled "No Anchovies, Please" from the Love Stinks album. I had that record for sure. Um, they also had a great cover of "Where Did Our Love Go" by the Supremes. Motor City Breakdown. No, what was it? Detroit Breakdown. That's what it was. They were highly praised in Detroit many times. I remember Peter Wolf, the frontman, talking about that they were doing this show in Detroit and they wanted to still keep jamming, but the place was ready to shut it down. So they took their equipment, they headed out to a place called Bookies. They set up their equipment, they started jamming. They're right then and there.
Huh.
Detroit loved the shit out of them, that's for sure.
Next guy I got was a member of a group that you probably heard of, Spirit.
Oh yes, I think I think we did talk about them a couple of times in the past.
Yes.
Yeah,
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 but this is Jay Ferguson. He had a pretty decent solo career.
yeah. I remember the song "Shakedown Cruise,"
Thunder Island,
Thunder Island as well. Yeah,
All
Shakedown.
Alone in the End Zone.
Yeah, I gotta look up "Shakedown Cruise" for some reason because I remember hearing the story about that song. There, it was a lot of. I guess it was one of those. I'm not. Let's see. You guys go ahead there.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and just mention the next one real quick, although I don't think either one of you have heard of them.
Hmm.
A group called Jigsaw. They had a song called Sky High.
Ah,
That was a pretty decent hit. Not a bad song.
ah. As you-
Mm. Then the next one I got was an interesting guy because he had only one or two albums, but somehow he managed to finagle a TV show for a while.
Ah, interesting.
Uh, Jim Stafford.
Oh, I heard of that name many times there.
Yes.
He dealt a lot in, what's the best
Cocaine.
word?
Drugs,
No,
religion.
no, comedy type stuff, but not comedy.
Hmm.
I mean,
Sketch.
Yeah, he was the one that did My Girl Bill, which you listen to the song all the way through, and when it gets to the end, he
Parodys.
says, "She's not, she's my girl, Bill."
Hmm.
You know, in other words, they were both talking about some girl,
Ah.
but the song made you think he was talking about his girl, Bill.
Ah.
Those kind of songs, and Parody's a good. And let's see, what else do you do? Spiders and Snakes. You know, I don't like spiders and snakes. That's what it takes to love me. Ooh-wee, or something like that.
I
Really
see.
hit off the wall stuff.
Sickening.
I mean, he was kind of into comedy, but not comedy. Not to the sense of, I mean, it's all original stuff too. It wasn't like, you know, a parody of a particular song. Like, I guess the best example of that would be either Bob Rivers or Yal Yankovic.
Ah.
Bob Rivers.
Spike Jones as well. You got to throw in Spike Jones as well there.
Yeah, Bob Rivers probably has 400 or 500 parodies.
Wow.
He has things like, let's see, Seasick Asian Man, Seasick Asian Man, which is a parody of
A secret
Secret Agent.
agent man. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mm.
And I'll bet you right now some of those parodies would be 20 times better than these so-called parodies that we hear nowadays. My ex-girlfriend was going through this parody of Bad Romance by Lady Gaga, and it just absolutely sucked balls.
yeah. He did another one called that was a parody of Iron Man. That was called I Am Santa Claus.
I remember hearing that too.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny song.
That was kind of cool there.
And then he did another one of Black Hole Sun
Oh, yeah.
uh,
The
called
Soundgarden
Asshole
song.
Song
Ah.
or Asshole Sun or something like that.
Oh, shit. I bet that didn't get played on the radio a lot.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Then of course you know the Al Yankovic ones. They were famous. They were on
Oh,
MTV a lot.
oh, yeah, on the radio as well.
And then there was another group that I don't think they were kind of a parody, but they did different version songs. Have you ever heard of Hayseed Dixie?
Hasty Dixie. No,
They
I
did
don't
a
think I
lot of
have.
they did a lot of AC/DC and
I knew it.
bluegrass.
By the way the name is pronounced, I kind of figured it was.
Yeah, they did a lot of AC/DC and bluegrass,
I
which was
see
kind of
there.
weird to hear.
But it was unique to listen to. Either way.
Yeah, it was.
Hell, there's a lot. I remember hearing the lounge version of that Papa Roach song. I forgot the title of it. Last Resort. Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while you see somebody that does something a little unusual with the song. It's like, oh, okay.
No, yeah. So I don't forgot the name of the group, but they did a lot of lounge versions of various songs, and we cannot forget William Shatner.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, who can forget William?
oh gosh, the transformed
Dr. Brown,
man.
do you
I'm
have that?
sorry. Would that go ahead?
Dr. Brown, do you have your hair slicked back?
Somewhat a little
Ryan?
bit. Not right now. No.
You know how you look like when you have it like that?
Who?
Like
Who?
Alex Van Halen.
Oh my gosh.
You see, like
Yeah.
'90s Alex Van Halen there.
Yeah, I
You
see
know?
what you're talking about because remember he used to have his hair slicked back a lot of times there.
Yes. You would have used gel or just water when you do that?
Well, I use a lot of gel to do that. Yes.
Mm.
Mhm.
All right.
Next guy I got's kind of an interesting guy in a way. Are you familiar with the phrase parrot head?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, Jimmy
Here we
Buffett.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had
You have a
some good
list?
stuff.
You have a list?
Yeah, kind of, but I've only got 7 songs on it.
And we know
Oh,
most of
sure.
them. We know one of them,
Listen.
Margaritaville, is one of the main ones there.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that real quick. I
Okay.
go mostly every year concerts. All right.
Ah, nice.
And if you're not even a fan of music, you got to go to the tailgating party. Like
Mm.
there's RVs, there's people giving away drinks, like drinking games. Like
Oh, wow.
everyone gets drunk before you even go in place. It's crazy. It's phenomenal. You just gotta go, even if you're not a fan of the music. You want to have a good time. You can go to the parking lots when Buffett's in town because it's
Yeah.
time of your life. It really is. All ages. I mean, there's old people, there's young people. I mean, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like the same thing when when Grateful Dead would play a venue. There we have all these hippies outside, selling, whether it's food or bees or hemp clothing or whatever comes to mind there.
Yes, I have lit plenty doobies at the concerts there, and it's weird because there's a lot of older people. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mhm.
not like you going to like a rap show. So I light the occasional doobie and have a good time, but mostly everyone's drunk as shit. I mean, that place gets packed. And I'm telling you, you gotta go. I mean, it's a good time. And listen, Buffett has been around for
Quite a
years.
while.
I was raised on Jimmy Buffett, for God's sake. So go ahead with your list. Let's hear it.
Yep, go ahead.
Number 7, changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes.
Here's an
Yep.
attitude. Nothing within Christ to save. And all of our money, and all of our hungry, we would go insane. Remember that one
Number
now.
number 6, Come Monday.
Mm.
It'll be alright. Come Monday.
Number 5,
Oh,
Livingston, Saturday Night.
that's a good
No.
one. It's an
Yeah.
old one.
4, Margaritaville.
Oh, we know that.
Actually,
Like,
Yeah.
a couple of bands I was in, we covered that song.
yep. There was not
Uh,
when I lived in Richmond, Michigan. That was one of the big songs you would play on the jukebox there. Other than
yeah.
cheese, next to Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Next one I had is Son of a Sailor.
Mm.
Next one after that is Volcano. And then Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yep.
And there's actually a restaurant in Hawaii named Cheeseburger in Paradise. I do not know if
After,
it's Jimmy Buffett owned or not.
no doubt, he probably, if he did or did not, it was definitely inspired by that song. That's for sure.
Yeah, I actually ate there. It's pretty good.
All right.
Listen, he has the best live albums, like live CDs.
Yeah,
You
there's a
go get
lot of them.
there's a lot, but like that's what it's all about. Because the live concerts, bro. Jimmy Buffett live concerts experience of going. It's the biggest party you ever go to. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
People are sloshed too. People are drunk. It's like a good time. Like everyone's having a good time. Like it's
Oh,
crazy. You know what I'm saying?
wearing Hawaiian shirts and everything else there. I know.
Yo, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like
Oh
that shit
man.
is lit, Brown. Lit. It's like
Wow.
numbers. You know,
Wow. Damn.
it really is.
And absolutely, that's mostly interesting, man. Definitely for sure.
Yeah. Next one I got. I'm curious to see if you've heard of them.
Hmm.
JoJo Gunn.
I don't think I have heard of them. Sounds like a person's.
No, actually, it's a group Jay Ferguson formed after he went so.
Oh,
After he was done solo.
okay.
Uh, their big song was something called "Run, Run, Run."
I see. And this is not the. Uh, I'm thinking another run, run. My bad.
Yeah, this is the Joe. Uh, yeah. Yeah, it's a shame we already talked about Spirit. That was fun to talk about. I love that group.
Oh yeah, that probably right now that's being controversy about them would be the case with towards Led Zeppelin. That's for sure. There.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, the guy that wrote the song, Randy California, had no problem with Zeppelin doing it. It was the other members of the group that did the suit after California died.
Yeah. I guess it was kind of funny is that I guess they had to wait a while because until Randy's passing to finally get that case going there. I guess.
Yeah, and that was really a sad story because Randy California died saving his son from drowning.
Wow. Holy cow. Just like
So
that,
basically,
kind of like like that Shad Gaspard, the wrestler from the WWE. He
yeah,
perished doing the same thing with his son.
yeah.
Wow.
And the weird part about Spirit too was their drummer
Jack
was
Ed.
Randy California's father-in-law, Ed Cassidy,
Wow. Yeah.
and well, let's put it this way, he was older than me back then. He was
Mm.
already in his 40s and was drumming for Spirit.
Oh wow. So he's like the oldest member of the group, without a doubt.
Easily.
Wow.
But he's Randy California's, come on.
Father-in-law.
Right. I did. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. I wonder how old he is today, by chance.
Oh, he'd have to be at least 80, but I have
Wow.
no idea. I don't even know he's still around.
I should probably check because around it would probably be around 80s or 90s, I guess. And it'd be interesting to see if he's still drumming. Either way.
Yeah. And while you're looking for that, I'll go on to the next one real quick.
Go ahead.
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Oh my goodness.
We've
Probably
heard
with
of
the.
them, haven't we?
Oh, we haven't. We know those. Yeah, he passed.
Yes.
Yeah, he passed away in December 2012.
And they'll be opening for the stadium tour, Brown. Did you know that?
Yeah, with the Motley Crue,
Hmm.
Def Leppard tour. Yeah, yeah. I guess they're going to be along with. I guess with a couple, some other band. I guess is going to be opening. I guess.
No, just those four.
Oh, those soar. Okay, see there.
But we love rock and roll.
Right. That's true. There. Yep. That song became a massive big hit. In fact, there was a couple points where she was had to go. She would wake up in not knowing which country she was in. Go to play. She was playing in.
Wait,
Yeah,
what year is on that? Didn't she sing the theme song for what's her name in WWE?
Yeah, Ronda Rousey, Bad Reputation. That album came out before I Love Rock and Roll, believe it or
Hmm.
not. I
yeah.
guess it
She
was
also did a
1981.
great cover. She also did a great cover of Crimson and Clover.
Yeah, she did. Yes, I remember the video for that.
What year is on those?
Well,
On those?
the
I think those kind of snuck into the 80s.
yeah, it was in 1982 when that song became a big
All
hit.
right.
I Love Rock and Roll, that is, and the Crimson Clover cover as well. And Bad Reputation came out the year before, 81, and will later become, of course, as we mentioned, Ronda Rousey's theme music when she was involved with the WWE.
Yeah. Next one I got is Joe Jackson,
Oh,
and
wow.
not done to relationship to
Michael
Michael. Or that.
Jackson. No, not Papa
Uh,
Joe Jackson, the British musician. And we all know him with his well known song Stepping Out and the song Look Sharp. Or is she going out with him? I remember back in 1988, that was in 1979 when those particular songs came out. He also had a record called I'm the Man, which was a big hit as well on the radio. And it was kind of funny. This guy had a habit of making every album he had at that time sounding very different. He had released Jump and Jive, which was a swing album there, kind of like in the style of Benny Goodman and Glenn Miller, stuff like that. And he also released
yeah,
Night and Day, which was based on the Manhattan, lounge singing, nightclub type of routine there. The whole album was based on that as well. Songs like "Tearing Us Both Apart" was another big hit on the radio
yeah,
and on MTV. That was a whole album right there. That's what the whole album was about.
yeah. Next one I got is John Cafferty.
Oh yeah, John. Oh my goodness, John Cafferty. I remember hearing that name many times.
Yeah, I can't for the life of me bring up in my head what the song was, because he was basically a one-hit wonder, I think.
Was it John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band?
Yeah,
Ah yeah, On the Dark Side from Eddie and the Cruisers.
yeah,
And it was kind of funny. That came out in 1982. It tanked. The movie tanked. The song became a big hit. It still gets played sometimes. Well, not necessarily. It used to get played a lot on the adult and contemporary stuff there. And I guess the movie was kind of based on all those mysteries of that. Is Jim Morrison still alive? Is Elvis still alive? Is Paul
right.
McCartney really dead? It was kind of based on those kind of theories
What?
there.
Isn't
Yeah,
that interesting that people think Morrison and Presley are still alive,
yeah.
but they think Paul McCartney is dead? It's like,
I know. It's still, I know.
wait
It's
a
like,
minute.
What?
yeah, yeah. There's some
Have you
people
all
out
ever
there.
been to? Have you ever been to Graceland?
No, I never have.
No,
Never have.
I did when I was like really small. Like I don't remember it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I
yeah,
did go.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But there were actual stories out there claiming that you remember all the crazes. I saw Elvis at this gas station. I saw
yeah,
Elvis at
like
this
Brown. What
spot.
is your honestly, Brown? What is your honest opinion about Elvis Presley? Like the
Well,
whole.
well, I
Remember the
wasn't.
movies and all that too?
Well, I never really watched none of the movies because remember I was more into the Beatles. I was a big Beatles kid around that period. But
Really?
you got to give
well, I
Elvis
liked
his due.
Elvis.
You got to give Elvis his due. He was one of the first artists out there to be censored on network television because they couldn't show. They had to show the upper section of his
Because the
body when
hip
he
swivel thing.
Yeah, which was at that time considered too suggestive. So they basically, he was one of the prime sex symbols. And also you got to think about it here. He was one of the first major U.S. rock stars to serve in the army.
Yeah, and he broke in a lot of ground for the ones that followed.
Yeah,
So you got to give him his due for that.
yeah. And you also got to give him his due on how what not to become, when you get older as a performer there, because not to let yourself go, because he certainly did that during the 70s there.
Yeah,
He ate too much, he popped way too many pills. He wasn't able to make love to his
Y'all like
girlfriend
when
at
they
the
be
time.
when it's like when it's his birthday,
Yeah,
or it's usually his birthday or the day he dies. They play a bunch of Elvis movies on TV,
I think
yeah,
so. Man,
and there's a
they do.
biopic too with him. It's really good.
Yeah,
Not a like like a someone that plays him, but it's the story of his
yeah.
life. You know.
Well,
absolutely.
he had something like 30 movies, I believe it was.
Yeah, one of them, I guess, was the thing called Change Your Heart. It was not necessarily a musical movie, but he was just basically a co-star either way there.
Yeah, that was well, Change of Habit, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yes, I remember.
The one with Mary Tyler Moore.
Yes, I remember that movie as well. Yeah, we talked about that a few times there.
Yeah, we kind of covered the Elvis movies.
Yeah, we did, as well as the music as well. In many
Yeah.
episodes back there last year.
Next guy I got on the list is John Kay. How do we know him?
Steppenwolf.
There you go.
And now basically he's the only original member of Steppenwolf. It's now basically John Kay and Steppenwolf.
Yeah, but he had a couple of songs solo. He did a cover of Drift Away,
Yeah. I don't think I've
and he
heard.
did Easy Evil.
Ah, nice. I like that title there.
Yeah, and the next one's another one that let's see if you know who this is, or at least an interesting fact about the song he did.
Okay.
John Stewart.
Oh yeah. Who, by the way, he was a one-time member of the Kingston Trio, if I remember.
Yeah,
And he had this big hit back in '79 with the song "Gold," which was people turning music into gold, which had Stevie Nicks as his
that was going to be my next question. Who was the
absolute.
backup singer?
Yes. And I'm gonna really remove this guy named the jazz hand story of was a complete lie because it's coming out a lot of
The fuck does that
bullshit.
mean?
I have no damn
What?
clue, but this bozo is gone. I'm sorry, but you're coming up with a lot of bullshit stories there. It's claiming he did acid with Johnny Depp and all that stupid shit there.
What?
Yeah, he was coming out with those. I was with Elvis the day Marlon Brando died. Yeah, right, homie. Probably Scott.
Wait. What year did Elvis die?
He died in 1977.
Hmm.
Pretty close to the time John Lennon was shot.
Well, a couple
I mean, it
years.
wasn't right on it, but it was pretty close.
What was it?
How would Elvis been in the 80s, you think?
If he didn't, well, he probably. It's one of those things you really think about there because you try to imagine how they would look nowadays. It's like, would
But
he
just like
still
the
be fat?
music though, because Elvis still, he dabbled in his country, his gospel,
Yeah,
his singing, his
movies and everything. Yeah,
Christmas carols.
yeah.
But like he dressed, in the 70s, he had the big old sideburns. But I wonder how he was in the 80s. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, I know he would have still been a big, may have been big with the rockabilly crowd. When the Stray Cats and Jimmy Mustangs were a big
Mm.
hit at that time. But then again, at that time, they were looking for people like Gene Vincent, Jerry Lee
Right.
Lewis. But to them, always Elvis would be considered overrated. But in a lot of ways,
Who's bigger,
The,
Michael
the,
Jackson or Elvis? You think?
eh, it's hard to decide there because we got so
well, it
many out there that are
depends
big.
because, you talk to a lot of people that have been around And Elvis
Yes.
is obviously bigger. You talk to anybody that came up with the Michael Jackson era, they're going to go with Michael.
Well, who is bigger, the Beatles or Elvis? The Beatles or Elvis?
It's a tough call because both of them were majorly successful and influential. I would have
Who
to
would
say
y'all think
equally.
though?
Well,
Equal?
I think it would be equal, you know,
Well, an
because
interesting thing about Gene Vincent, going back
Yeah.
to him,
yeah,
Sorry.
was when he released that song. I think I
Bebopalula.
relayed this story. Yeah, when he released that song, people were going up to Elvis and, "Hey, that's a great new song you did, that Bebopalula." And he's sitting there
Oh,
going,
dude.
"What? I
Oh,
didn't do
shit.
that."
Oh,
The
dude.
Gene Vincent sounded so much like Elvis in that song that people were mistaking it for
Oh, my
Elvis,
gosh. Damn.
which is good for record sales, but not so good for Gene Vincent.
Yeah, because he's the one getting because they're really thinking it's not him, but it's Elvis. It's like, hello, I wrote that song.
But yeah, it's kind of a weird little story. I mean, people congratulating you on a song you knew nothing about. Uh, oh well. The next guy I think we've talked about before. I'm pretty sure we have actually. Johnny Winter.
Mm.
Yeah.
That guy was a big into blues. He did "Still Alive and Well,"
Mm.
which is a great little song.
Mm-hmm.
He did the original "Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo."
Mm.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Interesting there.
And back in the album days, he released one of the most interesting albums I've ever seen. It was a two-record set, but three of the sides were had music on it. The fourth side was blank.
Oh,
He said
wow.
he recorded too much music for one record and not enough music for two records. It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
okay, that's kind of weird, but okay.
Oh, jeez. I can imagine the buyer of thinking, "Oh yeah, double album with Johnny with this guy." It's like, "Oh, what the? Someone
Yeah,
make a
what the heck happened
mistake."
to side four?
Uh, Jeez, dude. But actually, there were a lot of three-sided albums that came out. Believe it or not, there was the reissue of "Hunky Dory" by David Bowie at one point.
Yeah,
It had extra tracks on side three, and we cannot forget an album by the group Extreme called Three Sides to Every Story.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a three-sided album.
I don't remember the year Johnny Winter released that, but it was
And I think
late '60s.
And I'm
Go ahead.
thinking, believe it or not, if I'm correct, the new version of Appetite for Destruction is a three disc album. Is a three-sided album, I should say, because it's the sides are like instead of side one, side two, side three, it's side G, side N, side R. You get the idea there.
Right. Next guy I got is John Waite,
Oh yeah.
uh, lead singer for
The
Babies.
Babies, yeah, he had a solo career there, which was pretty good
Yeah,
there. He later reemerged as a singer for the band Bad English with Kane and Sean
right.
from Journey. They had a song
Yeah,
called "When I Look Into Your Eyes." That was a big hit in '89 there.
yeah. Next is Jonathan Edwards, one hit wonder.
Oh,
Song "Sunshine Go Away." "Sunshine Go Away Today,"
mm,
or something like that. I don't remember
I
exactly how
see.
it went, but it was a decently large hit. But that was it. Next group I got was kind of an interesting group from the mid '70s, actually the early '70s.
Yeah.
Uh, Group called Joy of Cooking. It's a
Huh?
female fronted band
Oh, interesting there.
that actually was pretty good. They did some hard rocking songs.
Oh wow, interesting. Interesting name there. That's a unique title there.
Yeah. Then we'll just flow right on to Judy Collins.
Oh yeah. Who I guess originally wrote both sides now, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Anne Murray covered, I guess, on
Yeah,
one of her
and
records there.
so did Joni Mitchell, actually.
I think so, yeah. I think me, I know, I get, who wrote it first, Collins or Mitchell?
It had to have been one of those two, but I don't know which one.
Hmm.
It's more likely Mitchell because she did write a lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
don't think Collins wrote much. And she does a great cover of an older song that I don't even know who the original artist was. Send in the Clowns.
Yes.
I don't even know who the original artist was.
Oh, I have to.
Then she did Someday Soon, which had a real country tinge to it,
Uh-huh.
but was a pretty good song. And an absolutely stunning a cappella version of Amazing Grace.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting.
And my last J person,
Mm-hmm.
Juice Newton.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder how she's doing nowadays.
I don't know. She
Angel in the
my favorite song
Morning, Queen
has
of
covered
Hearts.
America.
Yeah, big. She was big around the 81, 80 period there.
Well, the I guess for lack of a better word, neatest song that she did that I liked, something called "Love's Been a Little Bit Hard on Me."
I remember that song as well. Yeah.
And then we move on to, eh, we'll talk about them. I wasn't a big fan. Their songs are okay, but they're not dial turners as I
Hmm.
call them.
Yeah.
But I wasn't wild about them. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Ah, interesting.
Oh,
I know
come
that.
on, man! Really?
Yeah,
Really?
they weren't they weren't dial turners,
Listen,
but I
there's a lot
didn't
of
really like them.
hits. I mean, like there's a lot of songs you hear a lot on TV, whether it's
Yeah,
commercial or on movies,
yeah,
or just like the beat of the songs is from from that group. Yes.
yeah. They're extremely popular, and a lot of people will swear by them. Like I said, they're not a dial turner for me, but I don't particularly look for them.
It's like songs you hear at like wedding parties, like after party, do a little dance,
Yeah,
make a little
Yeah,
love,
that's
get down
usually, yeah.
tonight. You know, uh,
they're kind of like okay, I suppose.
Boogeyman. You know,
Yeah, Boogie Shoes.
Boogie Shoes. I'm your boogie. Yeah. What's it
They
called
had a
there?
theme
No,
going through.
should have been named.
Dr. Brian, you were big in the disco days.
No,
You
I
used to.
nope, nope,
Oh,
nope. I was still in my school when that. I was still in school
oh,
around that. But I was around 11 or 12 at that time.
oh God.
Yeah.
But you grew up around it though. You were like,
I
you know, you
couldn't.
saw
No,
it.
I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. Believe it or not. My sister used
Well, I
to
don't believe
blast
it.
it
I
all.
didn't like it either. I believe it.
Yeah. My sister would blast that stuff, she on her turntable a lot of times and on the radio, and I was like, "Are you please turn it down, please?" It would drive me fucking nuts.
Yeah, when they came out, I was either in my mid to late 20s or 30s or something in that range.
But you being in the discos
I just
back
grew up
then.
early 70s music, so that music kind of like, oh gosh, what happened to music?
I
You
know.
never big in the discotheques, Art?
Oh no.
Again.
Yeah, to me, I thought it was kind of, oh, they ruined it. I did like some, let me be honest, I did like some of it,
See?
but it,
It's
I
dance
like some of
music,
the
you know?
yeah, well, I like some of the Bee Gees stuff. That was okay. And next one I got Kiki D.
Oh.
She did. She's the one who did that song with Elton John years ago called "Don't Go Breaking My Heart." I remember.
Right? And she also
Yes.
had a big hit of her own.
Ah, there we
I've
go.
got the music in me.
Oh wow, wow. So that's the woman
She
who
was the
did that
original
song.
Really? Are you
Really?
serious? How does it go
Yeah.
again, Brown?
I got the music in me. I got the music,
Get the music in.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Feel funky. Feel good.
Yeah, man.
No, it's in there.
It is. It
I'm
is.
not
Yeah, it
making.
is.
Yeah, I
It
don't
Wow.
is.
make it up.
And I'm looking on there now to see if she's still around in that here. Let's see here,
Yeah.
blah blah, how she looks nowadays. And yeah, she's still around there. She is still friends with Elton John, believe it or not. There.
Yeah. Well, like I said, she had a big hit with that with him.
Yeah, absolutely there. I guess she had a couple other songs as well, if I'm correct there.
Yeah. But like I
Mm.
said, the big one was "I've Got the Music in Me," which
And
hardcover
yes, I was
on.
gonna
Brown, would that be a
say
concert?
what?
Would that be a concert, Brown, you would want to see? Is Elton John's last?
No, not
Yeah,
big on
really?
Elton. Not big
All
on
right.
Elton John.
All right.
Actually, I saw Elton John in concert once, but
It was with
I
Billy
saw the
Joel.
one with when he right, and that was the reason I went.
Yeah,
Oh,
two piano legends
'Cause
right then and there,
I'm a
and
I'm
covered
a
each
big
other's
Joel
material.
fan. Yep, I'm a big Billy Joel fan. I liked him.
Yep.
Next one I got, and there's an interesting fact about this group: King Harvest.
Hmm.
They
Oh,
did the song "Dancing in the Moonlight."
I think you mentioned that one time.
Yeah, the interesting thing to this song is it's either the only or one of the few songs that you will actually hear the break is a xylophone solo.
Hmm.
It's like, what?
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before. Up until then, till you mentioned that, the only person who had a xylophone in their songs was Frank Zappa.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a break that was a that was the solo,
Mm.
which is kind of weird. But
Ah,
you need to listen to that sometime because it kind of will throw you off. If you,
ah.
song's decent, but as you're listening to it and then they break with the xylophone, you're going like, wait, what's that?
Interesting there.
And the next group we got here, they had one interesting song. I think they had two or three albums, but they only had one song that did anything.
Mm.
Klaatu.
I don't think I heard of
And
them by chance.
you know where that name came from, right?
Klaatu. No, I don't think so. No, that's the first time I heard of it.
Have you ever seen the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I've only heard about it there.
Need to see it. The original with Michael Rennie and God, what was the girl's name? Patricia Neal.
Mm.
But
yes.
Ah.
the name of the big iron cop that was supposed to watch over the alien was
Yeah.
Klaatu.
Ah. Interesting.
But they're the ones that did Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft.
Mm.
And how long we been on? Well, we hadn't been on all that long, I suppose.
Yeah, it's
'Cause I was gonna
about
say, go
it's
ahead and
about
do the.
it was about 74 minutes we're on for the time being.
Well, I can either go ahead and do the L's, or we can save them for next time.
We could probably save before X for X the next time if you wish. It's up to you, man. We could do a couple of somebody
Well,
else.
let's see how far we get.
Okay.
First one I got's a guy by the name of Lee Michaels.
Oh, I heard that name before a few times. Wasn't
His
he
big
involved?
song was.
Wasn't he
Go ahead.
involved with the Sergeant Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band movie there?
Possibly. His
Mm.
big song was "Do You Know What I Mean?"
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that title a few times.
Yeah, the first lyric always threw me for a loop. He says, "It's been 14 days since I don't know when." I was going to say, Lee, count backwards 14 days and you can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, okay, it's been 14 days since I don't know when.
Mm.
Well, gee, that doesn't take a scientist to figure that one out.
All right.
But it's a good song.
Oh, interesting. I'm looking on this by chance he was involved because I remember it was a Michaels somewhere in that movie there. Let's see here. Let's see here. I don't think it does here. Let's see here. Now, let's see here. Oh, here's something that I wrote notice here. Um, Michael in 1991, Lee Michaels obtained full rights of all his A&M recordings. He recorded for that label there, in a settlement of
Right.
disputes that have arisen from A&M granting licenses to a label called Delicious Vinyl for the use of Michaels' recordings, which means a digital sample of several Young MC recordings. Once he had regained the full ownership rights, Michaels granted licenses to both Rhino and Shout Factory to release several best of albums throughout the whole years. In
Yeah.
November of 2015, Manifesto Records released his entire catalog of A&M recordings on compact disc vinyl in February 2016.
Yeah, he actually had quite a few albums, but he didn't have a lot of hits.
Yeah. He also, I
Okay,
remember it
next guy.
says, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I
dude.
was going to say the next guy, but finish what you were doing.
Well, it says here he also had he did a remake of Can I Get a Witness? It peaked at number 39 on Christmas Day in 71. 8 years to the week of Marvin Gaye's version, which would peak
Right.
at the number 22. And see there. Michaels' musical choice with the Hammond organ was his primary instrument. It was unusual at the time, as was his bare bones stage and studio complement. It was usually a single drummer, often a musician known as Frosty, whose full name was Bartholomew Eugene Smith Frost, was a member of the band Sweat Hog, whose bare hand technique was an inspiration to John Bonham of Led Zeppelin.
Wow.
Oh, interesting there. All right, so go ahead.
Next guy I got. Well, next guy I got, to me, has a pretty interesting song. Leo Sayer.
Oh man, they was playing that song. I was thinking about that song he did. You know, you, was it make me feel like dancing?
Yeah,
My sister had
you
this.
know I can dance. You know I can dance or whatever.
Yeah,
That's a pretty interesting song, actually.
yeah,
I can dance.
yeah. Because I remember, I remember hearing that. Also, can't forget, how much love, and of course, when I need you.
Right.
I was in a summer camp one time, I guess, in 1980 or 81, and what they had a little teeny one of those TD one speaker cassette playing radio boom boxes, those smaller kind, and they would have the cassette for the album Endless Flight with those two songs on it. They would play that
Yeah.
that album all the way through. And that's when I heard about some of the other tracks from that album, including "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing."
It's kind of funny. That's a guilty pleasure, I guess, of sorts. But I
Right.
like that song about
Mm.
I can't dance or whatever. I
Hmm.
think it's
Feel like dancing.
well. I think it's. I don't know the exact title, but it's about I can't dance or I can't dance. I guess he goes into a place. He's
Mm.
really hungry, and he wants to eat. That's what the song's about.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy says you can't touch the food unless you dance. And then
Mm.
he says, "Hey, I can't dance. I can't dance." And the guy says, I think he pulled a gun and told him, "If you're going to eat, you're going to dance." And the guy says, "Hey, you know what? I can dance. You know I can dance."
We've seen that many times before.
But it's kind of a funny little song. I like it.
Yeah, something there.
And next group I got is another group that was big on the horns, and they had two songs that were pretty big. Lighthouse,
Oh, Lighthouse, not
not light,
Edison.
uh,
I was not Edison
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, that one-hit wonder band. The group is called
Right,
Lighthouse.
right. They did a song called "One Fine Morning," and they did another one called "Sunny Days." And both those songs are big, And like I said, they're a horn type group. There's a lot of horns in the group.
A rock band with a brass horn section, needless to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And those two songs are really interesting. I think you'd like them, actually.
Oh, nice.
Uh, well, hopefully you'd like pretty much anything we're going over.
Yeah, I do.
Uh, next one I got here is Lindsey Buckingham,
Oh
a
my goodness.
highly underrated guitar player.
Yeah, because like Mark Knopfler, and a couple others, he's one of the few guitar players out there to play with his fingers instead of using a pick.
Right. And of course, his biggest song solo was Holiday Road, which they used in the vacation movies.
Yep, absolutely. And we cannot forget the song "Go Insane" from '85.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a great little song, actually.
Yeah.
And he did something called "I Think I'm in Trouble" or
Yes.
"Trouble" or
The
something.
song is so. Yeah, believe it or not, that song frequently gets played on the loudspeakers at my workplace. Believe it or not.
Huh.
And that came out in
Interesting.
1981.
Yeah. But where you need to find Holiday Road, and when you hear it, you'll go, "Oh, vacation."
Hmm.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know that song. Listen, did he sing that and play the guitar on that?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, Lindsey Buckingham.
Yep.
I got two more here in the L's, and then we can start with the M's next time.
Okay.
And the first one, you and I have talked about many times,
Yep.
and we'll mention them again. Looking Glass.
Oh yeah, Brandy, you're a fine girl. One of their big or one of their
How they could
well,
release a song like that was that good and not do anything else. You gotta kind of go, what happened?
ah.
Because Brandy's a great song.
It is a good song. It's about a woman who was, missing her lover and all that stuff. Who is while he's overseas, while has all these men try to make you be a great wife to me. You be a great wifey to this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But
Come on,
she's still loyal to this one man, who she don't know
You've
will
heard
be
the song
coming
by
back.
her, right?
Yes, we have. Well, I have.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I only heard the Holiday Road.
You've never heard Brandy?
I heard
Brandy.
of the drink brandy.
You gotta listen. Definitely get that drink, Brandy.
Brandy,
Listen
you're
to
a fine
this.
girl.
Yeah, definitely
Never
listen to
heard
that
of
one.
it.
Oh, you gotta look it up, man. Definitely look it up.
Seriously, it's worth it.
Yes.
It's a one-hit wonder, but
And I remember. I'm
a
thinking
lot
of
of
the
groups
music.
would love to have a hit like this.
Absolutely. And going back to the Lindsey Buckingham song "Trouble," I remember they were talking about the music video. It features a multi-instrumental big band consisting of male musicians, 4 as guitarists, 2 as bassists, and besides Buckingham, 6 as drummers. Mick Fleetwood, Walter Egan, who remember they had that song "Magnet and Steel" appears in the video,
Right.
as well as Bob Welch, Bob Weston, Dwight Twilley, and Andy Ward as who is the drummer for the band Camel. They make an appearance in the video just as well there. They're all in the video there. Pretty good song just as well, I should say there.
Yeah.
And the album you're looking for there, which that album came from, is iconically named Law and Order from 1981. Which, by the way, when we were doing our TV memory series, we never did get touch on Law and Order when you think about it there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Did y'all ever dive into Cheers or Frasier?
I don't think we ever did.
Well, actually, we only got through about 3 or 4 early. We did the original Star Wars.
Mm.
We did Doctor Who.
Yep.
We did
Star Trek.
the other the
The original
that's
Star
what
Trek.
man.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Holy cow!
Which
I know,
y'all's
And
what's
we
y'all's
did the
favorite
Twilight
cartoon?
Zone.
Y'all did Twilight Zone?
Yeah, we did 2 episodes on that.
The original or the
Yes.
newer one?
Yeah, the
The
original.
original, definitely. We
Oh.
went way back, dudes.
And
The
we
fuck
did
did
the
y'all remember?
original Outer Limits.
Yep.
Oh.
And we had plans to do quite a bit. And possibly after we finish the music, we'll go into the TV again because
Yeah.
What happened, Coach? What happened? COVID messed things up,
No,
or
we ran out of
No,
time.
yeah.
oh,
And Ark,
Started.
Basically said, let's stick to the music for our music journey for the time period there.
Well, basically, what we were originally doing, because well, I don't work because of my situation,
Yeah.
and Doctor Earl wasn't working at the time. We covered a TV series. We did two
Movies.
music videos,
Yeah.
and then we did a movie one all
Yeah.
during the week, and then we repeated it the next week.
Yeah. So we had a recap and preview what we touched on in the past. Anything we needed should have touched on, but didn't get a chance to. And a couple episodes. I remember Joe Cronin calling in as well as Casey is Raw.
Yeah, but we had plans to do quite a few different TV shows, and I mean, we had a lot of them because there are a lot of them,
Yeah, we do definitely,
and
and one of them we definitely got to get to the Law and Order franchise. Including the new one, Organized Crime, which is on the tube currently.
yeah, and we can. Oh, let me do my last L, and then we can. Last L I got is Loverboy.
One of the greats from Canada. I'm still looking forward to do a Canadian rock special with Dave Rose sometime. So we got to get a hold of him for sure.
Yeah,
And I remember the song "Turn Me Loose," "Working for the Weekend." When it's over, loving every minute of it. Their song from
yeah,
Top Gun, "Heaven in Your Eyes," which is a pretty good song there.
yeah.
hmm Pretty good stuff there have put out there. I think they're still together, but the only problem is Mike Reno doesn't look as thin as he was back then.
oh,
Right.
Brown, did you want to get into the music news on Blabbermouth?
Yeah, let's do that.
Alex
Yeah, let's.
Lifeson
Yeah.
um, interview base. It's a story on Alex Lifeson, breaking news about Rush and conflict. He was on that Eddie Trunk show this past week.
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
finish that episode yet, but
Ah. And it basically says Rush is no more.
right.
Yeah, which is sad because Rush was one of the great ones from not just from Canada but from everywhere. They were like considered one of the best bands in the galaxy there when you look at it there. Because
Oh
they
yeah,
came out with some great stuff there, great
Yes.
albums, great topics. The 2112 album, which we all know was about these tempos controlling what we listen to, what we watch, and everything else. It fits. I mentioned this. It kind of fits to say that that album kind of foretold the censorship issues later on in the 80s and 90s. When you think about it, there
Yes.
yeah.
temples of Xerox, what they were called in that piece there. What was it?
Zero. There's
The
zero.
Xerox or
Uh,
Xerox or something like that.
yes.
Yeah. When
Yes.
you think about it, in '85, you remember the Paris Music Resource Center? They were often
Yes.
considered the temples themselves.
What was it? The RCMP or
The
what?
PMRC, Parents Music Resource Center, or the PMC, or the
uh,
PPCC, or whatever the fuck it is.
RCMP is Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Yeah.
Dudley Do Right. There's you one that's a throwback.
There you go. There. Same guy
What's
who
that from?
created. Oh yeah, we all know it. The Rocky and Bullwinkle franchise.
There we
mm,
go.
Yeah, who cannot forget those two?
Boy, that would be an interesting one to talk about.
Absolutely, man. We got to do a cartoon special one of these days. All the cartoons that we grew up watching and loving. Tom and Jerry,
See,
Droopy.
the funny thing is, most of the cartoons back then, everybody said they were for kids, but when you sit and listen and look at them, there's a lot of adult content going on,
Oh yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
especially Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Absolutely. And when you also got to touch up on the Pepe Le Pew bullshit that occurred months back, him being canceled because he sexually harasses people. Now, I mentioned this on that show with Bobby McMillan and Kevin Hamilton. We were discussing Pepe Le Pew. Um, this friend of mine who lives in the Houston area here in Texas, she posted something on Facebook, saying those of you who are complaining about Pepe Le Pew being canceled, obviously never been, cornered by someone bigger than you, sexually harassing you, and it shows here.
Mm.
So obviously she must have had that happen to her at some point. So she kind of relates to why he was being canceled the way he was.
Yeah, but by a fucking a skunk, by a rodent or whatever. Like, come
He
on.
was a skunk, yeah, but the idea is that the guy, I guess in their mind, they feel like if a woman says no, let it go, move on.
Well,
But,
then there shouldn't be any fucking movies about wars or anything bad or violent. Then if
that's
they're
true.
gonna say,
And they
I mean,
should,
come on,
and,
that's why
and
it's
think,
a
think about this, the Three Stooges shouldn't have been using all those weapons like saw and one Curly's
exactly.
head, hammers, and everything else there. And then when you think about it, there was this one Disney black and white Disney cartoon whereas Mickey was trying to make a pass at Minnie. Minnie was like, no, no, no. And what does the Mickey Mouse do? He throws Minnie out of the plane.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you support Black Lives Matter, Dr. Brown?
Very little. If it's going to
Hmm.
be, it's going to be out intimidating everybody else, either supporting us. If it's going to be about, all pigs are bastards, bullshit. If it's going to be about stuff like, our lives matter over or your lives and all that bullshit, then I'm not going to be for it. As far as I'm concerned, all lives matter. And if anybody out
Yes.
there is going to say, but all lives don't matter unless black lives, no, shut the fuck up. All lives matter. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, doesn't matter. All lives matter, period. No matter what.
And you do support, you know, you do support Donald Trump, like
Yeah,
me.
I miss Donald Trump.
Uh,
Well, me and Bosey had a kind of great conversation on Minnesota's show a couple weeks back. That's for sure. And I'm sure all the liberals out there, going back to Lakeside Mall. Me and my sister were talking about it. When she visited Michigan to attend a wedding with her daughter, they took a trip at that Lakeside Mall. Definitely look it up. Aces Adventures, Lakeside Mall, and you'll see what I'm talking about. How beautifully that mall was made. And she mentioned Gretchen Whitmer, Michigan's current governor. She blames her because she fucked up Michigan big time. When you
yes.
think about it, she fucked it up, man. I mean, like the way she acted, during those. Yeah, I can understand, the COVID was out there. Was a threat at that time. But you also got to remember, there were people out there who work jobs, who can't sit on their asses all the time. They can't live off the government. They want to earn their own money. But Gretchen Whitmer is like, you gonna protest some more? I'm gonna extend the lockdown. Ha ha ha! I'm in control, motherfuckers. You are not. I'm the boss. You're my
Oh
slaves.
God.
That was her attitude. That was her approach. And you know what? All the people now who voted for this bitch, they're like, like they should be coming out and admitting it. I can't believe I voted for this douche rag, but they'll never admit it because they got that Democrat mind perspective installed in their heads, and that saddens me to hell. And that's enough about politics for the time being. Hmm. Still there, Ark?
Yeah.
All
Sorry.
right. And yes, I have been to Fairlane Mall. And is that mall still running there? Dude named Icky J, the Speed God, is in my chat asking me talking about Harpo's being bought up by somebody else there. Harpo's Concert Theater back in D-Town. I forgot that. Is Fairlane Mall still functioning, by the way, Icky? Yeah. So, I guess that maybe you think that'll be is it for the show for today? I guess it is for this evening.
Yeah, and then we can pick up if you're off Thursday. Thursday.
Yeah, I know they got me doing a lot of Wednesday, a lot of Thursday kind of stuff there because it's as I said we're still hiring some new people into the place, but we need a lot more because for some dumb reason there. So
So
yeah.
Thursday's iffy.
It's pretty much iffy for the time being there. But I'll let you both, you and YR, what's going on here. So for sure. Yeah, but don't see you cats this Thursday. Definitely next Monday we'll definitely continue where we left off. That's for sure there.
Yeah, well, it's nice to give you a day off.
Yeah, just at least. Yeah, but then again, I need the money, because I'm gonna get me a car. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get me
true.
the numbers. I'm tired of relying on Uber, waiting 20 minutes for some dork rag, trying, tell asking me, trying to. A couple of incidents happened before. I
You're
think I
trying to go
mentioned.
to numbers, right?
Yeah, I would like to go to the numbers, but I want to do it when I have my own car, because I don't want to borrow
Mm.
my sister's car, And plus, when I'm trying to. The thing is, I like to call Uber before I get off at 11. But the thing is, sometimes it may show up at about 5 minutes, and it's about quarter two before when I punch out. It's like I have to cancel and I have to
Right.
we'll just do that again, such and such, blah blah blah. And here's something that happened a couple times before. A couple of the drivers, took me to try to take me to the wrong place. I'm like, I thought it was this location there.
What?
Yeah, it had happened a couple times before. You remember the golf club I
See, they're
used
trying to
to?
scam you for your fucking money. Trying to
Mm,
get you. I'm trying to get you $15, $20 farther than you should be, my friend.
and there was I
Yeah.
mentioned this a few times in past vlogs of mine. You know that the golf club I used to work at, it would had one. It was the same name of apartment complex which is nearby, and the Uber driver is like contacted me saying, "I need the location number so I can get inside, find your place." There, I'm like, "Wait a minute, you're at the wrong spot there." But this is where the
Wait,
GPS told me to get.
what golf course in the Woodlands?
Yes, by the Woodlands. Not actually more like the Magnolia area there.
Magnolia.
Yeah,
All right. Tons
and
of golf courses in Houston. They're
yeah,
beautiful too.
yeah. And it continually went on the but the GPS told me to go this
Mm.
direction. Well, I'm like, excuse me, the GPS you have is fucked. Another time I was taking an Uber all the way to my former workplace, and the guy kept on going. And he went past it. I was like, you just passed it there, bro. But that's what the GPS said. It said to continue on the on. I said, no, no, no. Make sure to smack them across their noggins.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn. I don't. I said a few times. I hope I don't have to deal with this few times. I don't have time for any of that. I want to, and I tried to call the Uber secretary up there, and they said, well, what you have to do is the, to remove
Excuse
the
me.
app from your phone. Remove the app from your phone and then download it some more. And maybe this time it will work a lot more properly. I'm like, no, bitch. You get your GPSs to go the proper place, okay? Thank you. Fuck you. Goodbye. That's it. I had to get that out of my system there. In fact, you remember that rant line I did for Joe Cronin's Monetize This, where I said, "You fucking queefs." That's where Ken got that from. All right. So I
Dr.
guess
Brown,
that's
Dr. Brown, will you be partaking in any food tonight? Or did you already have good eats?
I have to see how I am. Right now I gotta see. Right now, I may have to go to the grocery store to get a couple things for the snack on. Like say I gotta write down the list here. But thank you, YR, and thank you, Arknolia.
Thank you,
You know,
brother.
all right, and
Hooray!
okay, so
And we both see you next time.
okay there, all right. All right, you guys have a good one, all right? Thank you, everybody
All
watching,
right.
and yeah, you
You too.
guys have a good one. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm. All right.